Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder. Today is my weekly roundup for my FlossTube. Typically I tape on Saturdays, but I decided to tape on Sunday today because I am participating in a Whip Warriors activity that I was just like really focused on yesterday, so I figured I'd tape today. I do have lots and lots of things that I have touched this week, and I'm excited to share my progress. So I will put the total number of stitches I had this week up on the screen because I figured it out yesterday, thinking I would tape yesterday, and I didn't. So as of Saturday morning, I had 6,751 stitches, but I did over 1,500 stitches yesterday, so I'll put the total up here. All right, so anyway, okay, so let's talk about, I have no finishes. I do have a couple things I'm getting close on, but this week, no finishes. I have my new start on Sunday. This is Golden Bees from Owl Forest Embroidery. I will put a picture here. And this is the first time ever that I am using Owl Forest Embroidery's actual flosses from them. And I get the hype now. It's amazing. Lucky me, I have another floss pack I purchased when I got this kit. So I got Golden Bees I got as a kit. So it came with the linen, and which I think it's a 30, I think that's a 32 count linen, and the flosses and everything. So I bought another pack of floss for another project I had anticipated starting this year as well. So I'm excited I have that because, man, whew, gorgeous. Anyway, here is, unfortunately, you can pretty much see through this. Let's see, what do I have that I can put behind this? There we go. Look at that. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. So, if you're going to do an Owl Forest embroidery and you have the ability to order floss from Owl Forest, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is variegated in a way that you really can't replicate it with DMC. So if you really want it to be true to the model, you need to get their floss, and it's totally worth it. All right, so that was my new start. I had a total of 727 stitches on that. Then I rolled my wheel for a random spin, and it landed on Fourth Wing. So this is from, I believe the designer's Maya Cross Stitch. I'll put a picture over here. Last I checked, this was not available anymore. I had purchased it through Etsy, and I don't know if there was issues with, I don't know, licensing maybe, who knows. But last I checked, it was not available. I am doing this on a piece of printed Charles Craft that I had picked up from Michael's that looks like the sky, and it is Violet's Dragons, Tarn and Andarna. Andarna prior to her, well, Andarna in book one, let's put it that way. Beginning of book one. This is where I got to. A total of 1,009 stitches. And I think it's so fun. There is a quote on here. I think it's, "A rider without its dragon is a tragedy." No. "A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without its dragon is dead," I think is the quote. But there's going to be beads added into here. And this one's getting pretty close. I've got more than 50% done on this for sure. 14 count, if I didn't say that. And I'm doing my own conversion. All right, then I got Morbid Curiosities from the Stitch Crypt for my random roll. I'll put a picture over here because I don't have a picture of what it will look like completed out. This was a stitch along in 2023, I believe. Yeah, 2023 from the Stitch Crypt. This one is taking forever. I'm doing this on a piece of 18 count Mystic Ada. And I got 411 stitches on this. And I made my progress. I added in a lot more. I had only had like really this top part done up here. I added in the outline of the cabinet on the sides and across the middle there. So it's finally starting to look like a cabinet. This fabric is a little bit hard to work on. I'll talk in haul about why it was a little harder than normal to work on. Okay, so after that, I got Autumn Quaker for a random roll. This is from Leela Studio. Very popular chart. And that's very glary. Let's take the picture out. I adore Leela Studio. She's so fun. So for this, I had 100 for random roll, and then I also used it for I Spy, which is Laura's game over at Stitching by the Shore that she does each month. And I used for something you'd see on a parade float, and there's that turkey down there. I figure you see a turkey on a parade float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So I am doing this on a 40 count platinum Newcastle linen from Zwagart. For a total of 300 stitches progress. And this is where we got. And what I did was I added in this wolf and tree here, and then this part of this Quaker. So fun. Oh, there we go. That's a good, that's accurate coloring right there. All right, then my next whip, I did another, whoops, forgot to put the chart back. I spun my wheel again, and this time it landed on 10 Dual Commandments for 500 stitches. Ended up doing 504 just to finish off my thread. This is from Taylor and Cromwell, and it is the song 10 Dual Commandments from the musical Hamilton. One of those songs that just lives in my head rent-free all the time, so I should stitch it. I used to hate working on this. I really despised black fabric whenever I first started using it, and now I have no problems with it at all. So no issues with black fabric anymore. Here is where I got, and I worked on up here, from here over is where my 500 stitches went. So this is nice progress. I really would like to finish this year. This is one of my older whips. And that's 18, I think 14 count. I believe this is 14 count. And I think it's just a piece I got off of Amazon. Then I rolled Still Waters by Plum Street Samplers. So I did 100 random roll on this. I also used it for I Spy for Remind You of Spring. And then 200 stitches for Categories and its pattern name. So the letters this time are S and N. So S for Still Waters. Here is what it looks like. This is just a fun chart. I really enjoy working on this one. And I'm also using NPI Silks for the first time with this. So I'm doing this on a 32 count Heritage Lugana from Picture This Plus. So grand total of 500 stitches. I had finished the border last year. So now I get to work on all the fun stuff. Ignore the hanging thread. I didn't want to cut it when I can just come back and work on it next time. So my progress is the butterfly, the inside of this star, and then all of the writing. None of that was there. It was just the outline of the star that was there before. And there is accurate coloring right there. And this is really nice fabric. I really enjoy working on this fabric. So picture this plus Lugana. It's like the perfect thickness, the perfect, it's not as soft as like the Ada from Picture This Plus. I enjoy working with it. All right, after that, I did another random roll and it landed on Shakespeare quotes. Guys, I'm gonna get this one done this year, I'm telling you. Only got 100, landed on 100. So this is Taylor and Cromwell. You guys have seen this several times this year so far. Doing this as charted. Doing this one on a 18 count black Ada from Zweigart. And 100 stitches isn't much, I tell you. So the 100 stitches are right here in that piece of the globe. I love that green. That pop of green in here just looks so good. So small progress, but progress nonetheless. Then the last random roll that I did for the week was All Hallows Eve. This is from Luminous Fiber Arts. And I believe this came in, I think this came in, well, it came in a Halloween box. It might have been the Stitchy Box Halloween box one year. I am going to change, I am doing this as charted for the most part. I had to make a couple substitutions for things I didn't have, but I've decided this white one here, I'm going to change to turquoise, or that teal, what is that, teal turquoise for, because we have a lot of food allergies in our house. I'd say looks like I'm about, I think I'm about halfway done with this one now. I am doing this on a piece of China Pearl Witchelt 14 count Ada. And I got 800 stitches for my random roll. Then I did 200 stitches for I Spy for repeating element, four times repeating element is I think what it was. And then 200 for categories for under seasons and celebrations. There's snowflakes on here. So what was snowflakes again? Ignore my hanging threads. That's for next time. And this is where I got. So I added in more of the border, all of this, and then a couple of the snowflakes. And the snowflakes is where I had to make substitutions, but this is a super fun one. I like this a lot. It's one of those ones that like I forget about until something happens to make me pull it out. Okay, so that was like my regular stitching. Then on Thursday, I believe it was, in Whip Warriors, the Riff Off started. And this is my first year as a member of the Whip Warriors group, which is currently a closed group over on Facebook. It opens in November. It is a group that requires participation, but there are so many events every month that it's really easy to get the required participation threads. So this is my first time participating in Riff Off, and I had heard Laura talk about this over at Stitching by the Shore. I know it's one of her favorite events, and I've always been intrigued. So for this event, how it works is it starts with a word, and you have to find one of your charts that fits that word. And then just like in the movie, pitch perfect, you find something in that chart that's going to take you to another chart based on something in that chart. So connections, I'll show you my connections and how I'm getting there. So you have to pick either 100, 200, or 500 stitches to do on each piece. And I chose 500 because I feel like that's like a really nice sweet spot where I can see a nice amount of progress. And I kind of like doing between 400 and 500 stitches. So the word that we were starting with this time is colorful. So I chose Pride Street, which is from, I can never remember this. I'll put the name up here of the designer along with the picture. And so this is the first one, and I got 500 stitches on this. I am doing this on a piece of really weird linen that I had gotten off of Etsy. I thought I was getting Aida, ended up being linen, but it's like linen that I'm doing 1/1. It's more like a 14 or a 16 count, but it's linen. I don't know. It's really weird. But this is where I am. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Is that all the way? Yeah, okay. That's where I'm at. And my progress was the yellow on this house. That's 500 stitches of yellow in there. And I am doing this one to hang up at work. It's going to go right above my door. I have the perfect spot picked out for it. All right, so that was number one. So from this, I used house as my connection word. And I pulled out Jack Frost Tree Farm. This is from Little House Needleworks, and this is part 1 from Jack Frost Tree Farm. It's the only one I'm doing. Looks like this, and you can see the house there, over here in the, right there. I am doing this on 16 count fog from Picture This Plus, and I have made so much progress in this one. I actually had to I ran out of eggshell, which is the color I was using this time from Classic Colorworks, so I had to put it in order for another thing of eggshell. So here is the progress. That's what we look like from back up, and all that eggshell in the sign is primarily what I did. I also added in the eggshell in the candy cane over here, and then snow at the bottom. And so that was 500. So my next connection, there's snow in this picture. So I chose Christmas Delivery from Cottage Garden Samplings, which looks like this and has snowflakes in it as well. And I focused on finishing up Santa Claus, which I did, and then finished up sections of the sleigh and added in some of the beginning, finished out the outline of the sleigh, and then the red in the sleigh, I added that in. So yeah, good progress here. I love this little guy. And what is my fabric? 40 count pusher cerulean from Lap and Loops is the fabric. Isn't he good? I really enjoy Cottage Garden Samplings charts. Okay, then I used Holiday, was the next connection that I made. And for this, I pulled out my Lent piece, which is from the most current issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And it is He Has Risen by Franny Ritter Designs. Looks like this. And I'm doing my own conversion to stash. So it originally called for 13 colors. I am only using 4 colors because of the wonderfulness that is variegated thread. So I'm doing this on a piece of 18 count Arctic Fox from Fox and Rabbit, which was one of their fabric of the month. And added in a lot more of the outline. So that is where we are. This was 500 stitches. This one's just a nice, I feel like this would be a really good beginner chart. I think it's called skill level is confident beginner. It's nice. Like if you are watching something, or like if this would be really good for a Zoom call, or if you were going to a stitchy group somewhere. Okay, so that was that one. So then for my next connection, there are letters in that chart. So I pulled out Bristol Sampler from WCD. Is that what it's called? Wall de Champs of WDC Designs. Maybe it's pronounced Val de Champs. Anyway, this was in the May-June 2012 issue of the Gift of Stitching. You see that deal all the time that comes up that's like, own all of the digital Gift of Stitching going out of business. I bought this like 5 years ago. No, not 5 years ago. Well, 4 or 5 years ago, and they were saying the exact same thing. So totally worth it. There's great, amazing charts in this magazine. So totally recommend it, but don't fall for we're going out of business. It's just not true. So yeah, that's what this looks like. I am doing a conversion. It's still going to be red, but I'm doing a conversion to all different. Each alphabet's going to be a different red. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do for the these borders in here yet. And then I am spelling out Pittsburgh using a like grayish bluish DMC. I am doing this on 20 count vintage country mocha Ada by Zweigart. So I wanted to finish a letter. I have a hard time leaving these letters not unfinished. So I ended up doing 523 instead of 500 stitches. And here is our progress. I added in the GHIJ. This is so fun. I enjoy doing letters. I love like the red samplers. I kind of am thinking through what I think I want to do is I want to have a wall that's toned. So with like I'll have a red one, I'm going to do a tone of all different blues, then all different greens and stuff like that. And then in each one spell out a place that's important to myself or us as a family. All right, so my connection for that is the word sampler. So I pulled out Miss Charlotte Frobisher, who I just love and adore. So this is in the bulk historic samplers from Patricia Ryan and Alan Bragdon. And this is what the original looks like. Mine looks nothing like this at all because I did my own conversion. Okay, here's the original. I've also had to be pretty thoughtful with this because I should have used linen. I feel like I say probably more than anything else on my channel. I say I should have used linen. I should have used even weave. Whatever. This is charted. I can't show you guys, but It's like old school charting that was done with with like graph paper and pen. It's super small. Like that entire chart is just one page. And I think what I'm going to do in the future is use PC Stitch. And I'm going to take the chart and put it in and then figure out what changes I need to make based on what I'm doing. Because I've had to make several counting changes just because, like, or it would have been, okay, so you know how if you're doing 2/1, no, if you're doing 2/2 with linen, sometimes instead of moving over 2, she moves over 1 square, so that it just really, it kind of messes it up a little bit. So I've had to make some changes based on that. And it just would have been easier to do if I had really looked at it first and I plotted it out into PC Stitch. So here is my progress. As you can see, it is a very colorful conversion. What I worked on is this in here. I did that, that border. It does go all the way down, and it's on the other side as well. So Charlotte's just fun. Wish I had known her in real life. My connection on this one, there's a verse at the bottom that has the word mother in it. Oops, let's put the book back. So using the word mother as connection, I pulled out a piece that I am making for my mama as a gift. And this is from the World of Cross Stitching magazine. Of course, I ripped it out, and I'm not sure which version of the magazine it was in, but it is from Emma Cogden. It is called This Kitchen is for Dancing. And I'm doing my own conversion to stash. I am using a 16 count Haunted Ada. And yeah, it's my progress. So I finished this. I had to do the S, finish the S. I added in these here. And that green, I added in the tops of the ITCH. Added in this star. And I thought there was another place I added in green. There's another green in here too. On that side. So this is fun. And doing this because our kitchen, it's what we did in my kitchen growing up, is we danced. All kinds of dances. All right, so today is Sunday, and typically I would start a new start for New Start Sunday. I'm going to push my new start back to after Riff Off ends. I believe it ends on the 25th, I think. It's either the 25th or the 26th. But I definitely want to do Riff Off again today for Sunday. So I did spin my wheel and I landed on number 14. So the new start for this upcoming week, this is going to be my first maximum cross stitch piece. And this is Anne Boleyn. And I just think she's gorgeous. I fell in love with this because it was hanging on the wall in the Evertote shop during their notes from the workshop, their podcast that they do. I am doing as charted, I believe. Yeah, as charted minus the metallics. And I'm using a 32 count Lugana from Fiber on a Whim, Ivy. So I am doing those purples on this beautiful green because I love purple and green. I think it's just wonderful together. And, you know, Green Sleeves was written for Anne Boleyn. So there's specialty stitches in this, which is why I had to make sure that I got a linen. Yeah, she's just gonna be so fun. She's just, look at this. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's gonna be stunning on that ivy. So I will start this on either Monday or Tuesday. So like I said, I'm gonna do riff off for the rest of the time that is an option. There are new calls for Monopoly, and I will start those this week coming up, after riff off is over. Maybe. Either that or I'll do Monopoly next. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you the calls that were for Monopoly this time, which I play Monopoly with Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. So if you want to see what was actually landed on, you can go over and check that out on her channel. So total of, let's see, 1,800 stitches for Monopoly this time. So I've got in my father's house, which is By the Bay Needle Arts, I believe. I'll have 400 on that. 300 on my Alice sampler from L Forest Embroidery. 200 on Hobbit House from the Fabulous House series from Cottage Garden Samplings. 100 on the Fab 50 Sal from Abby Sue Designs. You cannot get this anymore. 100 more on Shakespeare Quotes because it's going to get done this year. 300 on In Praise of Pollinators, and then 400 on one of my absolute favorite pieces, which is Knight and Castle from, In Praise of, okay, hold on. Shakespeare Quotes is Taylor and Cromwell. In Praise of Pollinators is The Blue Flower, and then Knight and Castle is Stitching Spell. And then I also have a couple more categories that I need to finish up. So I still need something for color, travel, leisure, mystical, and designer. And for I Spy, which is, yeah, this will be the last week for I Spy in categories. So I think I only have one more left. The only one I need for I Spy is not water, but the color of. And then I'll have completed all the prompts for I Spy for this month. All right, so that's the plans. Haul. So my big Nashville haul is supposed to be here tomorrow, and I'm so excited. According to tracking, let's fingers crossed that it does come, because I've just been hearing so many nightmares about USPS lately. I did though, so Garon Stitchery, they did their Nashville roundup. It was like almost a 3-hour video over on their YouTube channel. Definitely go check it out, because they had some items on there that I hadn't seen other places. So I did an order because I fell in love with 2 of the new Be Stitch Me fabrics. And then there was a chart that I was kind of on the fence about that I decided after looking at it more and more, I really wanted to get it. And I'm so happy I did, because looking at the picture in person versus on the screen, it is stunning. So I will show you. Well, I got, so the fabrics I fell in love with, the first one is Radioactive. Look at the screen. Is that good? And I actually have a very specific chart in mind for this, which is coming with my Nashville haul from Millennial Fabrics. So I will pull this out and show you what I'm going to do on this, because I saw it and I was like, I need to do that chart on there. Isn't this is like, I want to call this Gary Green, because this is like the Grand Stitchery color here. And then the other color I fell in love with was April Showers. This is a 16 count Ada. Look how gorgeous that blue is. I don't have anything in mind for this one, but I needed to have it in my stash for when the perfect project comes along. All right, and then the chart that I got is from the Primitive Hair, and this is Dunvegan Fairy Flag. And look at that. She's gorgeous. There's a story on the back, The Legend of Fairy Flag from Dunvegan Castle, which I will read when I start the chart. I'll read that to you guys. Oh, I love it so much. The detail in this is incredible. I cannot wait to see what this looks like stitched up. All right, so I did that, and then I added in something that's been on my wish list for quite a long time, and that is the Hello Halloween from Teresa Kogut. Wanted it because of that sampler on the front. Absolutely fell in love with this when I saw it. I'll tell you what though, the other charts in here, I'll just show you what the other charts are real quick. So there's 11 original designs in this book. 6 of them were 20 and 2021 Patreon designs, and then 5 were brand new. So we have the Halloween sampler. That's definitely the biggest one in here. And Steph Lindy Stitches is currently working on that. She just showed it in this past FlossTube. She was working on it. So we have these 3, which are so cute. I love how she does her witches. And I'm showing these because I had wondered what was in here prior to purchasing. Wish I could have, I mean, I would have bought it regardless, but I, you know, it's nice to see what you're getting before you get it. At least what pictures are in there. This one, kind of love that. Look at that pumpkin. I love the pumpkin's like face. That's called the Good Witch. Then we have the Prim Witch, which looks like this. There's 2 different options for colors there. And we have Vintage Cats, which I saw somebody else is doing this, and for the life of me, I can't think of who it is now. But they're so cute. I definitely want to do them. Look how cute those are. Adorbs. Then there's Pumpkins Fat and Witches Lean, Cool Black Cats with Eyes of Green. All the mystery can be seen on the night of Halloween. Right there. Love that witch. And the last 2 is Hello Moon and Witchy Stardust. And they look like that. So this is an excellent book. And her books are always like the best quality. Such great quality. I have to say, the really good quality too for the Primitive Heroine. So that was my haul from this time. So provided my order does come in tomorrow, like it's supposed to, will be my Nashville haul, and I'm so excited to do that extra. I cannot wait to see everything that I got, because I don't like write anything down when I get it. The way that Sarah does it over at Millennial Fabrics, which is what I typically go through for my for any of my like Nashville, those like big release things, she does these lives where she shows everything and she releases things one by one, and I just say, me please, and then don't keep track and am surprised whenever my order comes in the mail. So I know that I had purchased things pre-ordered as we went in the lead up, and then she did lives while she was at Nashville, more for like stitchy goodness kind of things, you know, like scissor fobs, buttons, finishing packs, that kind of thing. And so I also purchased several things with that, and it's definitely going to be a we listen and we don't judge video for sure. So really excited to be doing that. So that should be coming out at some point this week, as long as, you know, the mail works out the way it's supposed to. As far as life goes, no like major no major anything going on. Big project I'm working on for work on to like convert how we do our pay as we switch over to clinic status. And got to hang out with my nieces on Thursday. I considered going up to Joann's yesterday and ended up deciding not to, because I watched a video on like the fact that the Joann closeout prices are really not sale prices. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty true. So I didn't go back again for that. But the reason I needed to go up there, forgot to say this, is so I have 2 lamps that I use regularly for my stitching. One that's behind me and comes over my shoulder, and then one that comes from the side and over. And then I also have my magnifier that has lights up here too. I depend on that really good lighting. My one light lamp that I had purchased, I swear it's not even a year old, but it just stopped working. So I needed to get a new one. So I knew that they had like OT lights up at Joann's, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get one of those if they're on sale for a good price. I was able to find the price. It still wasn't great prices. So I decided to check Walmart, and Walmart did have a floor lamp that was on clearance for I think it was $37.99 as compared to like over $200 for the OT light. And I was able to get the 3-year protection plan because I feel like I have the worst luck with these stand-up lights because I use them so much. I was able to get the protection plan for 3 years for $6. So if this one goes bad in the next 3 years, I will be able to get a new one at, for no cost. So, so that's coming. So that's, you'll see that. Well, you probably won't see it. You'll see it whenever I do my room organization tour thing probably, but I'm going to have it built and already up prior to my next video. So, ordered that. It's supposed to be here today. Also had to order a new 11x11 Q-snap because I had my Q-snap frame. It was on the floor because I was like in the middle of switching things out, and there was covers on top of it, and I accidentally stepped on one of the frame pieces and cracked it. And I'll tell you what, my 11x11 Q-snap is my use every single day. So I went ahead and ordered 11x11 Q-snap, and I think 14x14. It was a 2-pack because it was cheaper to do it that way, off of Amazon. And I also got a laying tool to try out. It's called something different though, and you wear it on your finger. But I want my stitches to look better. There's just certain counts that whenever I'm using 2 strands on, it just looks messy. And so over at the Thread Gremlins, they were talking about using this particular laying tool. And so it was not expensive from Amazon. So down below, I will have my affiliate link for Amazon for that laying tool and the Q-snaps, if you guys are interested in that. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, just really looking forward to my Nashville haul coming in. So, all right, guys, I hope that you have an amazing week, and you get lots of stitching time, that everything you want to have happen happens. And is this week, I think April Fool's Day's this week. So don't forget to April 1st, my birthday Alice Sal starts, which I will do I plan to have a video up for that April 1st. So yeah. All right. I have such a hard time ending videos. If you ever want to find me anywhere that it can possibly be found on the interwebs is down below in the description box. If you like what you see and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you would be so kind as to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, that would be most appreciated as well. All right, I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.